Last class we have discussed up to payroll definition and offset details, right? Except third party and third party payment methods, we have done everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Except third party and third party payment methods, we have done everything. Personal payment methods, payroll definition and offset details. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we will see third party and third party payment methods later, and primary ledger also we will see it in later classes. At this point of time, it's not the correct way. So today what we will start is elements. Elements, element eligibility, what is input values, element categories, basic element. So all the theoretical stuff and practical stuff of elements and element classification. Okay. So I think we are on track. So you were most probably May, right? May. When we have started the classes, most probably by, let us take July 20th is the last class for you. So I'll complete all the whatever we have discussed, whatever I have promised. I'll complete all of by July 20th. So 4 months of duration, another 10 days. Okay. We are almost on the track. Okay. If something I am going little bit faster, I'll again repeat the class. Okay. If I feel that I went a little bit faster, or if you don't understand anything, you can ask me the concept again. I'll repeat the class, particular concept. Okay. And apart from that, I'll do the complete boot camp session for the payroll. So whatever we are doing is a concept oriented classes right now. And after completion of concept oriented classes, we will see the practical payroll implementation for one project. Let us consider any other project like Tata Group, or we are having so many companies, right? So
Yes,
I'll
sir.
do entire implementation, end-to-end implementation for the particular project. So at least every bi-weekly, payroll is a little bit complicated and little bit sensitive. So every bi-weekly, I will conduct one special class. You and another batch students, you can join combinedly, and you can do the payroll boot camp sessions. For remaining global HR and all these things, talent or all, it's not required, but payroll, at least minimum 3 to 5 implementation end to end, you have to do. And, I'll conduct all these special classes. Okay, I'll publish the date on which I'll conduct the special class. Once you complete the entire payroll, so once you complete the entire payroll, and I'll ask you to practice each and individual topics. Once you're comfortable, then we will conduct a boot camp session where it will completely from morning 10 to evening 5. Okay, I will provide one lunch break, something like that. And after that, again, we will conduct complete on the particular Saturday itself. We will complete entire payroll. Means practical. Okay, bootcamp session is practical sessions. Okay, now we will come to our topics. Today's topic is, what is today's topic? Elements. Okay, what are elements? So elements are the basic building blocks of payroll. Okay, elements are the basic building blocks of the payroll. So I'll explain by opening a payslip. Let us take an example of Bruce Lee. This is his payslip. So regular salary is one element. Okay, regular salary is one element. He's only having regular salary. Okay, I'll open another payslip. He's also having regular salary. See here, he is having another bonus pay, right?
Yes, sir.
So he's having another bonus pay element. What is the amount he is having? $1,000 US. Okay. So apart from regular salary element, he is having bonus pay element. So that is comes under earnings. So if you understand the payroll slip, if you understand the pay slips properly, you can understand the payroll. 90% of payroll will reflect in your pay slip, or at least 80% of your payroll reflect in your pay slip itself. So bonus pay. So bonus pay means because of his hard work, we want to give some $1,000 as a bonus. Okay. So that will be reflected in the pay slip or not. So that got reflected in the pay slip. So this is one element. So regular salary is one element. This is called a salary basis. So to create a salary basis also, we need one element. Each and everything that comes in the payroll or pay slip is an element. Okay. Whatever you are seeing in the pay slip is an element. Earnings are deductions. Okay. Earnings are deductions. Let us see another pay slip. Tata bonus with retro pay. So Tata bonus with retro pay. This is one of the elements. It's a retro element. Means I'll explain what is retro element. At this point of time, it is too early. So if you go through the pay slips, we'll understand different elements. We'll understand different elements. In simple terminology, without elements, we cannot have any kind of payroll. Okay. Without elements, we cannot have any kind of payroll. Okay, not written the article so far, I think. Okay, as a functional consultant, we remember always, first of all, we need to do the setups and configurations, and then we need to create the transactions, right? As a functional consultant, we need to define the elements, right? Before using the elements, we need to define the elements. So elements are the basic building blocks in the payroll. Okay, remember like this. Elements. So while creating the elements, obviously payroll always revolve around the LDG, right? Payroll always revolves around LDG. So legislative data group. Click on elements. So here, always the effective date. What is our effective date? So always select 1/1/1951. Okay. So always while creating elements, creating legal entities, legal structures, workforce structures, anything, what is the effective date? 1/1/1951. You remember this. Click on plus symbol. So here it will show primary classification, secondary classification of the element, and a category. Obviously, we have selected which one? In the scope.
US legislative data groups.
In the scope, which one you have selected? US
legislative data group.
So based on the scope, it will come. Let us change the scope and we will see whether it is changing or not. Okay, it is coming by default, right? Let us change the scope. So where I have to go and change the scope?
Here,
Okay.
elements.
Scope. Elements. Select and add. Let us take UK. Okay, GB LDG. GB means Great Britain. Save and close. So what is the scope of element here? Okay. Now when I click on this elements and just give effective date 1/1/1951 and click on, see here it will sometimes it will show like this. You have to click on this two forward symbols. Click on plus symbol. So it is by default it is going to create the element in which LDG? Great Britain legislative data group. So obviously the most important thing while creating elements is the scope. Okay. You have to verify in which scope you are creating the elements. Okay, now I want to create the elements in US legislative data group. What I have to do? I have to change the scope. I have changed the scope. I have given here 1951 and click on plus symbol. So again, it came back to US LDG. Okay. So the primary classification. So primary classification, there are so many primary classifications. These are all different classifications of elements. Okay. Absence elements will take care of absences. Balance initialization will take care of balances. Employer tax credits, employer tax deductions, employer liabilities, employer taxes, imputed earnings, information, involuntary deductions. So there are so many types of elements. At this point of time, for your learning purpose, you don't care of all these things. So always focus on standard earnings at this point of time, okay? Because you are learning very basic. So focus on standard earnings. So focus on standard earnings. Primary classification is, Officer, what is the primary classification we are creating?
Standard earnings, sir.
Standard earnings. Okay. In that secondary classification. So in that secondary classification, for our regular salary, we are creating as a regular. If it is shift allowances, you have to create shift. If it is a premium or overtime, you have to select the particular thing. But for me, I am creating a regular salary element. Click on regular. Okay. I'm creating a regular salary element with which I will create salary basis. Okay. Everybody understood, right? So
Yes.
always we will talk about salary basis, right? While hiring an employee, also we will give salary basis. How we will create the salary basis? To create the salary basis, we have to have a salary element, right? The basic element.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Time card is a different thing. Always select standard. Time card is from OTL, Oracle Time and Labor. Always select standard. Okay. While creating the elements, standard earnings, regular, and category is standard. Okay. So I have taken screenshots. Click on continue button. So here there are so many questions would be there. I will explain you one by one. You have to understand the questions. Okay. So what is the name of the element you want to give? So this is a basic salary element, right? So for which company we are creating?
FedEx, sir.
FedEx. Okay. FedEx basic salary elements. Okay. What is the effective date? First thing you have to change. What is effective date?
1/1/1951.
50. Okay. Reporting name for any kind of reports. So this will come. Name that appears on statement of earnings, reports, pay advices, and pay slips. FedEx basic salary. Okay, I don't want to mention as elements. So it will come as FedEx basic salary only. So it's comes. So this will be displaying in the reports, right? FedEx basic salary will be displayed in the reports. So the reporting name is, I want to mention it as FedEx basic salary. Description, I want to mention here again element. So what is the input currency? Is US dollars. We are doing for US legislation. So input currency is US dollars. Should every person eligible for the element automatically receive it? Should every person eligible for the element automatically receive it? So salary element, every person will automatically receive it, right? But for time being, we don't want to mention. We don't want it automatically receive it. We want to go through with element entries, or we want to receive it automatically. It depends. If we select yes, the element will be automatically added to every new hire. Okay. If we select no, it will not be eligible for element automatically receive it. You have to manually enter with element entries. Okay. For the learning purpose, I want to mention with element entries only, so that I have mentioned as no. Every person will automatically receive means no. What is the earliest entry date for this element? From when first standard earning date. First standard earning date means first date of the month. What is the last entry date for this element? Last standard earning date. Okay, so you remember this. At which employment level should this element be attached? So here there is assignment level and term level. Assignment level in global HR we have seen. If there are multiple assignments, we will have multiple payrolls, right? If suppose one person is a doctor and he is a professor also, visiting professor. So he is having two assignments. One is a doctor and one is a visiting professor. So he should be paid 2 times, right? For a doctor, basic salary will be different. For a visiting professor, basic salary would be different. So we have to pay him at assignment level. So this element would be attached at the assignment level. If he is having multiple assignments, if an employee is having multiple assignments, more than one assignment, we can pay the employee more than once with the help of assignment level. If you select a term level means there won't be any assignment level, only one term. Okay, we have to select by default assignment level. Does this element recur each payroll period or it requires explicit entry? So it's a recurring element. Salary element is a recurring element. Every month we have to pay him the salary, right? It's a recurring element. It's not, suppose if it's a bonus element, what type of element is bonus element? Bonus element, will we pay him every month?
No, sir. Per year will be.
So sometimes we will pay only once in a year or once in a quarter or once in a half year. So it's a non-recurring element. But salary element is a recurring element. Every month you have to pay the salary. Process the element only once in payroll period. Select this. Process this element only once in payroll period. You have to process the element only once per payroll period. Okay. Can a person have more than one entry of this element in a payroll period? No. So any person will have only one entry in this payroll period. You have to by heart these things. You have to remember for different elements, different answers will come. I'll give you the sheet. You have to remember these things. Okay, by practice you will get. Okay, everybody understood these questions? Should every person eligible for the element automatically receive it? If you select yes means automatically this element will be tagged to the employee. If you select no means this element will not be tagged to the employee. Okay. So is this element is a recurring element or non-recurring element?
Recurring elements.
Recurring
Recurring element. Why is it recurring element?
Because we have selected regular pay.
Yes, it's a salary element. It means we have to pay him every month. It's not a bonus element or something like that. Okay. Now go to next. So what is the calculation rule? So calculation rule. You want to give some basic flat amount. Let us take $5,000 or $10,000 or $2,000 or days into rates. Number of days into per day this much amount, or number of hours, hourly salary, hours into rates, or factor. But at this point of time, is a flat amount. What is the calculation rule is the flat amount. So is this element subject to proration? So proration and retroactive, one of the toughest concepts in payroll. So at this point of time, we are saying no, this is not a proration. Proration means suppose one person joined in January 1st and another person joined in January 15th. Do we pay him the same amount salary for both of the employees?
No.
No, right?
No, sir.
So how many days he worked, we will pay accordingly. But at this point of time, we are not taking that as a consideration. Is this subject to proration? Means no. If it is, we want to pay according to number of days, we have to select it as S and give the proration group. But at this point of time, this is the first basic element we are creating. As a learning purpose, we are mentioning it as a no. Is this element subject to retroactive changes? Retroactive changes means past payments, past payroll. If you have to pay any amount in the past payroll, or if you have to correct any mistakes in the past payroll, this element should be mentioned as retroactive changes. Yes, then only you can go and correct the changes. But at this point of time, we are in the very basic stages. We are mentioning it as no. Element subject to proration and subject to retroactive changes. 99% generally will keep it as S and S. But we are in a basic first day of elements. We are mentioning them as no and no. Okay. Proration and retroactive changes. Click on next. Okay. So what is the input currency? US dollars. So these are the defaulted values and these are the selected options we have selected. Should every person eligible for element automatically receive it? No. No is the default and we also selected no. What is the earliest entry date of this element? First standard earning date. What is the latest entry date of the element? Last standard earning date. At which employment level should this element be attached? Assignment level. Does this element recur each payroll period? Recurring, yes. Process this element only once in payroll period. Yes. Process this element only once in payroll period. Can a person have more than one entry of this element? No. What is the calculation rule? The flat amount. Is this element subject to proration? No. Is this element subject to retroactive changes? No. We have to verify each and every question carefully and then click on submit button. Just once you click on submit button, please don't do anything. Just wait for at least 3 minutes. At least 2 to 3 minutes. Don't disturb the tab or page. It will impact the element creation. Just leave as it is like that. Okay. Here the element got created. The element got created. So FedEx basic salary element. Here the element got created. Now we need to provide element eligibility. So what is meant by element eligibility? Element eligibility is nothing but where this element will be eligible. Okay, let us take, we are creating eligibility rules. Wherever this element is eligible, we can use this element. Let us take, we will create element eligibility. Select this element eligibility, this folder. Click on actions. Create element eligibility. Create element eligibility here. FedEx basic salary element eligibility. Just E means element eligibility. Here, these are the element eligibility criteria. If we select here only one legal employer, this element will be restricted to the particular legal employer. Okay. If we select here the department, this element is restricted to only the particular department. If we select this job, the element is particularly restricted to particular job. Okay. So here we can restrict this element according to our requirement, whether the location, position, payroll, bargaining unit, or element grade, okay, job, department, and legal employer. Okay. But at this point of time, I don't want to restrict this element depend upon this element eligibility criteria, and I want to leave this element as a blank element. Means anybody in any legal employer or any department or any position, any location can use this element. Okay. All select here all payrolls eligible. Okay. Select here all payrolls eligible and click on submit button. While clicking on submit button, check this effective date 1151 properly there or not. Click on submit button. So element eligibility creation is, please create very carefully. Sometimes it will throw error. Okay. Element, once you're done with element eligibility, see this one. Apart from all payrolls eligible, element eligibility criteria should be blank. Blank means anybody can use this element. Okay. In next classes, I will show you how can restrict this element by eligibility criteria. Okay. Let us take an example. Okay. For there is a job opening is there. For that person who has studied any degree, they can apply. What is that one? What we will call that one? Eligibility criteria means what they mentioned? Any graduate, right? So they have not mentioned that okay, only engineering, and that too within the engineering only computer science or artificial intelligence people they have to come. So that means they're restricting the criteria, eligibility criteria, right? Okay, if there is a job opening is there, for that if they mention that only engineering students has to come, and within the engineering also particular stream, if they mention only computer students has to come, within the computer science students also the grades at least they should get more than 75% or 80%. So how much they are filtering there? Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir. They are giving some job description like so. These are the categories we are requiring for that particular role or particular position. So based on that, here in payroll also they are giving some criteria.
Yes. So let us take, there is job one, that is, let us take HCM consultant. Okay. HCM consultant, functional consultant. Functional consultant, and this is job one. Okay. Job two. Job two is like, let us take AI engineer. Okay. AI development engineer. Okay. Let us take for this element, for this job one, eligibility criteria. Let us take, we have mentioned as educational qualifications. Education qualification is any graduate. Okay. So blank, right? Any graduate means anybody can come. I have mentioned it as a blank. Like any graduate can come, and if they're having knowledge on HCM functional consultant or HCM, they can come for interview. Any graduate can come for interview. Okay, HCM functional consultant. Whereas the educational qualification for AI engineer, what is the basic educational qualifications we are keeping as eligibility criteria? Eligibility criteria is engineering passed out. Okay, engineering, first of all, he has to be engineer. Engineer is also a graduate, right? But a graduate is not an engineer. Have you understood the difference between both?
Yes.
Please respond. So what is the statement?
Engineer will come as a graduate, but graduate will not be.
Engineer is a graduate, but graduate is not engineer.
Okay, so what it means? Lakshman, I want you to explain this concept.
Sir, sir, engineer is a graduate, but graduate is not an engineer. Sir, here in India, we have different kind of degree systems. So the graduate, we can call it as a, there are two types of post graduation and graduation. So graduation means like a BCom, BSc or something else. And coming to this engineer, he is also a graduate, but he is not in a like a this kind of graduate like BCom, BSc or something degrees. Sir.
Okay. What is meant by graduate is not an engineer?
Sir, engineer comes into technical.
But all graduates, okay, but all graduates are not engineers. I want to correct this statement. All engineers are graduates, but all graduates are not engineers. So I will explain you simple. See, here graduate means what? Anybody who has completed 16 plus years of education. 10 plus 2 plus 4. 16 years of education, right? 10th standard plus 2 plus 4 or 3. 15 years of education. 15 plus years of education, we'll call it him as a graduate. Okay, let it be degree, BSc, BCom. Okay, same as with BTech. Here, actually, these are all normal degrees, whereas engineering is a special degree, is a technical degree. Okay, these are all normal degrees, BSc, BCom, or something like this. Here, what is my requirement for eligible? What is the eligibility criteria? Only engineering students, means I'm narrowing down the filter. Only engineering passed out only I'm requiring. I'm seeing that one. Okay, so I'm putting this qualification as engineering passed outs. Okay, only engineers has to come for AI development engineer job, and in that also the branch inside the engineering also, what is the branch I'm keeping as eligible criteria? Computer science engineer or AI and ML, artificial intelligence machine learning engineer. So within the computer science, what is the within the engineering? I'm again inside engineering, I'm again creating another filter, eligibility filter, computer science or artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? So I'm narrowing down. Whereas, let us take here HCM functional consultant. Any graduate, whether he is a computer science engineer or BCom, BSc, BTech, electrical, mechanical, civil, or he is a computer science engineer or AML engineer, I'm not going to discriminate. I'm not going to discriminate based upon his educational qualifications. I'm not going to discriminate based upon his educational qualification. Just he should be a graduate. Graduate means 15 years of continuous education should be there. Right? This is the first qualification, that is for job 1, that is HCM functional consultant. Whereas for job 2, that is AI development engineer, there are a lot of qualifications that they are looking. That is called as eligibility criteria. Eligibility criteria is he should be an engineer first of all, and second thing is he should come from computer science branch or artificial intelligence branch. So these are the two eligibility criteria. Same here. If we keep so many eligibility criteria, this element will become very narrow down, and this element will be used by only few people in the enterprise, right? If we leave it as a blank, every legal employer can use it, right? Every legal employer can use it. Suppose if I give legal employer only US1 legal entity or FedEx US private limited, then only the particular legal employer. Okay, So here I have left it as a blank like any graduate. Suppose if I go and correct here, okay, here once you click on submit button, it is tough to change this one. We have to delete the record and then we have to do. Okay, for now you don't do anything unless it's the first day of elements. So elements are really the basic building blocks of the payroll. Okay, you should be very careful while doing with elements. Okay, what is the element we have created now? FedEx basic element 111951. 111951. Click on search. FedEx basic salary elements. Okay, we have created the FedEx basic salary element. Okay, actually, while creating this FedEx basic salary element, supplement other child elements also has to be they automatically they have to be created, but they are not created. Just I am checking for that one. Okay, we will try it in another element, So we will create the same thing in Dev 10 environment and let us see why it is throwing that error. So we will create another element here itself. Actually, there would be another 3 child elements also will be created, but somebody has done some changes, I guess. So only the basic salary element is getting created. Okay, no problem. So this is how we will create one basic salary element. Tomorrow we will see how to create salary basis with the help of basic salary element. It is simple only. So how to create salary basis with this salary element and how we can tag that salary basis. How can we tag the salary basis to particular employee and how we will run the payroll, quick payroll. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll check why the child elements are not getting created. So everybody understood the basics of how we will create element, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So at this point of time, at least the basic element is getting created. I will leave about the child elements. The basic element is getting created. It's not. We don't have any. At this point of time, we don't have any issue actually. If this is also not getting created, then it's a problem. But this is getting created. I'll check why the child elements are not getting created. Okay. Practice the basic elements for your companies, for your enterprise. How to create basic elements. Please practice. Tomorrow what we will see is we will see how to create salary basis. How to create salary basis. See, we have seen today the basic element, right? Tomorrow we will see how to create salary basis and attach to payroll, and then bonus element creation, reduction element creation, and payroll execution we will see later. Okay. So we have discussed about element eligibility, what is basics of elements. Input values we have not discussed, and element categories also not discussed. Only element eligibility and creation of basic element. These 3 things we have discussed. Right? Everybody understood these 3.
Sure.
Tomorrow we will see define salary basis and attach to payroll, bonus element creation, reduction element creation. These 2 we will see, and input values and element categories. So please practice for your enterprises. So tomorrow we will see these 4, and we will, if time permits, just we will see the basic standard payroll execution and view payslip for employee. I don't think the time will permit. So we will see we will focus on the elements first, and element classification also. One small thing is there. We have to by heart what is the different types of elements are there, absence elements. We have told, right? So what are the different types of elements are there? You have to by heart that one, element classification, the primary classification, secondary classification. So all these things you have to remember or by heart. So the element classification is there. Nothing to call from my side. There is nothing logic to explain here. Element classification will be provided by Oracle. So we have to remember those element classifications. Okay. That one also tomorrow we will discuss. Okay. Today we have seen the basics of what is element eligibility, and how to create a basic element to run the payroll. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah. Thanks for your time and have a great day. Please practice the payroll. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Wish you the same.